Hi everybody, I'm back and I thought it would be interesting to do a video to get to know me, but through my birth chart. So here I go. My sun sign is Aquarius, moon sign is Leo, and ascendant is in Gemini with the Pisces midheaven. My throat gets really dry, so I shifted my time of birth by 1 hour because in my country, Singapore, there was a 1 hour artificial shift in 1982, and when I checked without knowing about this shift, I personally felt that the 1 hour difference mattered a lot, and I resonated with the second chart more. For example, my moon is in Leo, and in the chart that the new chart, the one that is at a later time, it will be in the second house, whereas the old original chart would be in third house. And for me, I'm really a second house person. I am a hoarder. I like to collect lots of things. I have a whole collection of like perfumes, for example, and I read online that that's what second house people do, and I was so shocked because it was so to the point. And second house also does relate to singing, and I do sing in my other YouTube channel where I have my own Spotify, so that was really accurate for me. My sun is in 9th house, which makes a lot of sense because I travel extensively, and that's not to show off of how many countries I've traveled to, but to just let you know about my experiences. And I've lived in Shanghai, I've lived in Australia, and I'm from Singapore, so then that's a very 9th house thing. And the sun also represents the father, right? So my father is definitely a very religious person, and like Sagittarius energy of the 9th house, he's quite a jovial person, and he's a Gemini, so that adds up to it. Although he has a Scorpio moon. Pisces being on my midheaven, and I have Mars and Jupiter in Pisces in the 9th. This has always caused me to feel so confused about what I wanted to do with my life. Even up to now, I always thought I wanted to be an artist, but even when I go to do art these days, I feel like my creativity is being stifled by what is supposed to be deemed as art. So I stopped painting for quite a while now, but I would like to go back to it, especially with my Venus in Capricorn and Earth sign. Earth sign people like tangible things, so painting is definitely something that I approach in a very structured but also free way. I do it both ways and it works out. I hope that makes sense. That was contradictory. Basically, I go with the flow, but I do have a method to my madness. And my Saturn in Aries is in the 10th house, so Aries is a debilitated sign in Saturn, so that makes my career path even more of a struggle. Saturn being the lessons we learn. So yeah, I'm a bit worried and curious to see how my Saturn return would be like. I have Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius in the 8th house, conjunct Mercury in the 8th and Sun in the 9th. So Neptune is dreams. So in recent weeks, I've been having a lot of nightmares. Neptune is like the thinning of the veil, right? So it is a very spiritual house to be in, 8th with Neptune. And Uranus in Aquarius in the 8th points to 8th can represent investments, and Uranus is the internet. So like for my YouTube, for example, things are always up and down, you know. Anyway, that's how the internet works. I also have medical conditions. So this chart reveals that I have Pluto in the 6th house of daily life and health. So that is very accurate for me. And it is a bummer, but right now I'm managing well. I'm just glad that, touch wood, I'm just glad that I don't need anything further. Touching the wood on my table. Yeah, because right now I'm just going for injections for my back condition. So Lilith in the 4th house. I do feel a bit of Lilith in the 4th house, but not to a very, it's not an everyday thing, because luckily I have the moon in the 2nd house. Lilith would be a dark feminine, and then the 4th is like female, mother, childhood, because it's ruled by Cancer. My fortune is in Sagittarius, makes sense, and South Node in Pisces. So all these like creative, artsy, Piscean things, they come very easily to me. And my North Node in Virgo, it takes me some practice, but I may not be aware of how Virgo I am at home, because my 4th house is in Virgo. Yeah, I'm messy now because the house is small, but if I had the space, I'm actually very neat. That's what I like to think. Other people at home may disagree. What else does my chart say about me? North Node in the 3rd house, South in the 9th. It makes sense. I spent early parts of my life, up until uni, staying overseas, and now I'm more working on making friends and having that immediate social connection. And 3rd house is also a house of speaking, so I'm speaking on YouTube and learning things. So 3rd and 9th, you know, they balance each other out, because 9th is teaching and 3rd is learning. 3rd will be more of a speaking energy, so it's interesting that I'm doing this on YouTube. I think Mercury in the 8th for me is, some people perceive that I always ruminate and I talk about what people don't want to say, like stuff I don't like. If I don't like someone, I'm not the kind of person that can fake it easily. But I feel that people may perceive me as too paranoid, because if someone is lying, I can usually get a vibe that they are not being genuine, and people may think that's just being paranoid. Yeah. Jupiter in Pisces is a placement that, you know, the YouTuber Alyssa Sharp, it's a placement that absorbs everything. So when I saw that video, I became more careful about who I surround myself with, because it's not necessarily always my fault that things happen. I could be soaking up all the energy of people around me, and I may not even be aware of that, because Neptune in Pisces is clouding everything. So yeah. I think that's all I'm going to share for now, but if you want a second get to know me video, maybe just one with questions and without the birth chart, I can do that. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.